Is Pan-Africanism just a catchy phrase, or are African leaders serious? Recently in Ghana, something suggested that while some leaders easily express their enthusiasm when it is just about taking, they stumble when it's time to take action. Let's talk about Nana Akufo-Addo, Ghana's president, who seems to be on a different track than the Pan-African path he claims to follow. He's all about unity, empowerment, and a black renaissance on the global stage. But back home, it's a different story. Ghana, the land of cocoa and vibrant kente cloth, has been in the spotlight lately. The contrast between the Pan-African speeches delivered by its leaders and the reality on the ground is as clear as day. It's like promising a feast and delivering a snack, disappointing and not what you signed up for. Ghana's president canceled a Pan-African rally meant to be very important. But what made him do this? Is he just a puppet who can't relate to African people's sentiments? Let's find out. We all know politicians are good at making promises, but actions speak louder than words when push comes to the country's future. In Ghana, it seems like the Pan-African rhetoric is more of a political accessory than a genuine commitment. Nana Akufo-Addo, the man with the plan on the international stage, had an opportunity to show the world that Pan-Africanism isn't just a phrase. Unfortunately, when faced with internal challenges, his commitment shakes. Pan-Africanism at its core is about unity. It's about recognizing that together we stand, divided we fall. But recent events in Ghana paint a different picture. Empowerment is another buzzword in the Pan-African vocabulary. It's about lifting each other and ensuring that every brother and sister has a fair shot at success. But back home, it seems like the empowerment talk is just that, talk. The reality is more like a pyramid scheme, with only a select few climbing to the top while the rest are left at the bottom, wondering what happened to the promised ladder. The gap between rhetoric and action is not just a crack, it's a chasm that threatens to swallow the dreams of those who believed in the Pan-African vision. It's not just about pointing fingers, it's about holding our leaders accountable. If Pan-Africanism is not just a buzzword, our leaders must prove it with their actions. With its rich history and vibrant culture, Ghana deserves leaders who embody the ideals they speak of on the global stage. It's time to bridge the gap between rhetoric and action, to turn promises into progress. After all, Pan-Africanism should be more than just a slogan. It should be a reality that every Ghanaian and African can proudly embrace. But the president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, has hurt the sentiments of Africans and hasn't done justice with what he claims to stand for. You must be thinking, what did he do? President Nana Akufo-Addo, the self-proclaimed Pan-African champion, seems to fail when implementing his ideals. A Pan-African rally, with people like Dr. A.R. Chiori Julius Malema and Professor P.L.O. Lumumba in the lineup, was all set to go down in Ghana. The goal, you might ask? Tackling the big issues facing our continent and giving the status quo a good kick. You would think the president, who loves to be the Pan-African advocator on the global stage, would be front and center for this rally. After all, it's the perfect stage to showcase his commitment to the cause, right? Wrong. When the opportunity to walk the Pan-African talk presented itself in his backyard, President Nana Akufo-Addo chose the path of least resistance. Instead of embracing the chance to address critical issues and challenge the status quo, he seemed to develop a sudden stage fright. Dr. A.R. Chiori, Julius Malema, and Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, two important people in the Pan-African arena, were all geared up to unite. But it takes more than a lineup to make a rally impactful. The leader of the land should have been standing shoulder to shoulder with them, ready to take on the tough questions and lead the charge for change. Pan-Africanism isn't just about looking good on the global stage. It's about making a difference where it matters most, at home. President Nana Akufo-Addo, with his eloquent speeches and international charm, missed the chance to show that he's not just about the talk, but also the walk. A Pan-African rally isn't a photo op or a chance to add another line to the resume. It's an opportunity to roll up your sleeves and dive into the issues impacting the continent. It's about acknowledging the problems, challenging the status quo, and paving the way for a better future. President Nana Akufo-Addo's hesitation to fully embrace the Pan-African rally raises eyebrows. Is the commitment to Pan-African ideals just a political edge for him to wear when it suits his agenda on the global stage? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. The Pan-African Rally wasn't just an event but a test of President Nana Akufo-Addo's dedication to the ideals he passionately discusses. Unfortunately, it seems like the talk might be just that, talk. He canceled this rally, making everyone question his claims about Pan-Africanism. But what did he want Africa to miss out on after deciding to cancel the rally? Let us tell you, the rally didn't occur, but the speaker did have a news conference. The speakers at the Pan-African Rally were a powerhouse lineup, bringing together Dr. Akirana from the diaspora, Julius Malema representing the South, Professor PLO Lumumba speaking for the East, and Peter Obi, a heavyweight in Nigerian politics. It was like assembling the leaders of Pan-Africanism, a formidable force ready to tackle the continent's challenges head-on. Dr. Akirana, with roots in the diaspora, added a unique perspective to the mix. His presence highlighted the global reach of the Pan-African movement, emphasizing that the struggle for unity and empowerment extends beyond geographical boundaries. Julius Malema, the authority on all things South, brought a wealth of knowledge and experience. Professor PLO Lumumba, the voice of the East, added a touch of wisdom and insight that only someone deeply connected to the region could provide. And then there's Peter Obi, a key player in Nigerian politics. His influence and experience in the political arena made him a linchpin in the lineup. Together, this diverse lineup symbolized unity in diversity, a core principle of Pan-Africanism. Their collective influence spanned different regions, demonstrating that the movement is not about uniformity, but embracing the rich cultures and experiences of the African continent. As they stood side by side, representing different corners of the continent, the speakers embodied the essence of Pan-Africanism. It wasn't just a theoretical concept, it was a living, breathing force ready to drive change. In a world that often emphasizes divisions, the lineup of speakers at the Pan-African Rally was a refreshing reminder that unity is our greatest asset. Dr. Akirana, Julius Malema, Professor PLO Lumumba, and Peter Obi, the avengers of Pan-Africanism, showed people that when they come together, acknowledging and embracing their differences, they can overcome any challenge that stands in the way of a united and empowered Africa. But the president tried to mess it all up. As Ghana grapples with a slew of challenges, from the relentless blows of COVID-19 to economic downturns, there's a noticeable stirring among the youth. The Pan-African Rally, seen as a catalyst for this awakening, could have been the stage to tackle pressing concerns like unemployment, healthcare gaps, and infrastructural hurdles. President Nana Akufo-Addo's reluctance to dive headfirst into these issues sends ripples through the youth. Unemployment, like an unwelcome guest, has overstayed its welcome in Ghana. Armed with education and ambition, the youth knock on firmly shut doors. The Pan-African Rally could have been the arena where solutions were crafted, a space to turn job-seeking frustrations into opportunities for growth. Instead, it feels like the issues were brushed under the rug, leaving the youth to continue their search for answers. Healthcare deficiencies, another thorn in Ghana's side, needed a spotlight. The rally could have been a forum to discuss strategies for improving healthcare access and quality. President Nana Akufo-Addo's hesitance to address all this directly mirrors a reluctance to hand over the needed medicine for ailing systems. Infrastructure struggles, the silent disruptors of progress, deserved a place in the rally's discourse. The Pan-African Rally could have been the charging station, fixing the systems needed for progress. President Nana Akufo-Addo's sidestepping these infrastructural issues is like ignoring the warning signs. The youth have awakened to the reality that their concerns are not merely echoed in an empty chamber. The Pan-African Rally was a beacon of hope, a chance to transform challenges into opportunities. President Nana Akufo-Addo's hesitation, however, sends a message that the youth's concerns might not be a priority on the national agenda. In a time when the youth are eager to be heard, the Pan-African Rally could have been a harmonious symphony of voices addressing the nation's challenges. President Nana Akufo-Addo's hesitation, whether intentional or not, has set the tone for a growing discontent among the youth. Does this show Ghana is in serious trouble with such a leader? Ghana, often hailed as a shining example of democracy in Africa, seems caught in a double act. While it has earned international applause for its peaceful elections and seamless power transitions, the truth beneath this democratic facade tells a different story. The current leadership's failure to deliver on election promises has left the people questioning the authenticity of Ghana's democratic image. On the surface, Ghana's democratic credentials sparkle like polished gems. Peaceful elections and smooth transitions of power have become the stuff of legend, making the country a symbol of democracy in Africa. The current leadership, entrusted with steering the democracy, seems to have hit some rough waters. Promises made during the election cycle, like a captivating prelude, set the stage for a brighter future. Yet, as time passes, these promises remain unfulfilled, disillusioning the audience, the Ghanaian people. Ghana's democratic image, once a treat for the eyes, is now under scrutiny as the people realize the reality of the leaders. The erosion of trust among the people is concerning. The hopelessness stemming from the leadership's failure to translate promises into tangible progress has shrouded the once pristine image of Ghanaian democracy. The people, especially the energized youth, expected more than mere rhetoric. They anticipated concrete actions to propel the nation forward. The inability to fulfill promises has not only eroded trust, but also increased the gap between the aspirations of the people and the actual state of affairs. The Ghanaian democracy, once held as a beacon of hope, is now grappling with the reality of unmet expectations. This shadow over the democratic landscape is a reminder that accountability is the cornerstone of a thriving democracy. In the grand world of democracy, the stage is set for accountability, transparency, and responsive governance. As the curtain falls on the disappointment of unmet expectations, Ghanaians are left with a choice: to demand a return to the true spirit of democracy, or to accept the current state of affairs as the new normal. The echoes of disappointment may linger, but they can also serve as a cry for a commitment to the principles that make Ghana a true beacon of democracy in the eyes of its people and the world. But why did the president cancel such a rally? What bothered him about this rally? The canceled Pan-African Convention in Ghana has thrown a spotlight on a bigger issue: the hesitation of African leaders to confront internal criticisms. The call for purposeful leadership, championed by Dr. Akirana, highlights the urgent need for leaders to prioritize the well-being of their citizens over political posturing. But is the president the real deal, or is he just playing a role? His actions suggest a disconnect between African people and their sentiments. In the vibrant idea of Pan-Africanism, where unity and empowerment are important, the cancelled convention is like an attack on it. The very essence of Pan-Africanism is a call for leaders to come to the table, ready to tackle the issues that affect their citizens. Dr. Akirana's call for purposeful leadership is a reminder that leaders shouldn't just talk the talk on the global stage, they need to prove it with actions at home. Purposeful leadership is not about grand gestures or empty speeches. It's about rolling up the sleeves and solving problems. Dr. Akirana is waving the flag for this type of leadership, one that prioritizes the needs of the people over political games. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is the president genuinely advocating for Pan-Africanism, or is he just a puppet in the political show? The canceled convention raises eyebrows, suggesting a reluctance to engage with internal criticisms. To truly connect with the sentiments of the African people, leaders need to be in tune with the rhythm of their challenges. Dr. Akirana's call is important, urging leaders to listen and respond to the needs of their citizens. The canceled conventions are more than missed opportunities. They sign that leaders are falling short in showcasing their commitment to Pan-African ideals. Pan-Africanism isn't a one-size-fits-all concept that leaders must wear with pride. Dr. Akirana's call for purposeful leadership allows leaders to step up. It's not about making appearances at international conferences. It's about garnering genuine support from the citizens who elected them into office. So, will the silent Pan-Africanism that flows in every African's blood? The Pan-African Convention's cancellation might have hit the brakes on the physical gathering, but it's like trying to stop a high-speed train with a feather. It's just not happening. Being the tech champs, the youth have taken the discussion online, turning this setback into a setup for a digital revolution. Social media platforms are the new convention halls, and hashtags are the new rallying cries. The cancellation didn't shut people up, it just changed the venue. Efforts to hush the discourse have backfired spectacularly. The attempt to silence the Pan-African voices has created a digital uproar, echoing across borders. The youth are not just mad, they're mobilizing and doing it with the click of a button. The internet, the modern-day agora, has become the virtual stage for these passionate voices. From Accra to Nairobi, Cape Town to Cairo, the conversation isn't just surviving, it's thriving. The cancellation was the spark that ignited a flame of curiosity, and now it's a wildfire of ideas spreading like digital wildfire. Let's be real, this isn't just about a convention. It's about the thirst for knowledge, change, and the desire to be heard. The cancellation didn't silence the dissent. It simply redirected it to a platform where hashtags trend louder than any politician's speech. In a world where information is currency, attempting to cut off the supply has only made it more valuable. The youth no longer rely on traditional channels. They've found a digital treasure trove. What's fascinating is the ripple effect. The cancellation wasn't a stumbling block, it was a start. The initial shockwave spread across the continent but didn't stop there. African diaspora communities worldwide picked up the digital baton, turning a Pan-African convention into a global dialogue. So, what political leaders should know about what happens when you cancel an event? Attempting to suppress these voices was like holding back a tidal wave with a sandcastle. You can delay it, but you can't stop it. The youth have embraced the power of the internet, turning the cancellation into a lesson on resilience and adaptability. The wake-up call triggered by the cancellation of the Pan-African Convention has sparked a crucial question. Who's standing with the sentiments of the African people, and who's fallen short? The youth, now wide awake and digitally charged, are examining leaders like never before, making it clear that there's no room for those who fail to fulfill their duties. A spotlight has been set on leaders after the canceled event. The youth are no longer passive spectators. They're active participants, demanding accountability from those who hold positions of power. Once comfortably installed in their roles, Ghana's presidents and leaders are now under the microscope. The youth are questioning whether they stand with the sentiments of the African people or if they've become disconnected from the very pulse of the nation. It's not just about holding a title, it's about carrying the aspirations and dreams of the people on your shoulders. The canceled convention has become a test for leadership. Those who fail to address the concerns and desires of the youth find themselves on shaky ground. It's a digital referendum where silence or indifference is not an option. It's not enough for leaders to make promises in press conferences. They must now engage with the people directly. The canceled convention didn't just shift the conversation. It elevated the expectations placed on leaders. Leaders who have aligned themselves with the sentiments of the African people find support in the online arena. Social media is no longer just a tool for communication, it's a gauge of public sentiment. Conversely, leaders who neglect their duties and fail to address the people's concerns find themselves isolated. The days of leaders relying on complacency are over. The youth have proven that they won't be content with leaders who are out of touch with the realities of the African people. In the end, it's a wake-up call, not just for the youth, but for leaders who must reassess their approach. The generation demands leaders who understand, engage, and actively work towards the betterment of their communities. The canceled convention may have been a setback, but it has become a stepping stone for a more vigilant and demanding generation that won't settle for leaders who forget to fulfill their duties. Do you think the leaders who do not relate to Pan-Africans are not sincere to Africa? Should they be taken off from their seats? Who has the potential to take them off from their seat? Let us know in the comment section if the youth of Ghana can do it. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.